La raptaron. Bien, ¿y tú? ¿Qué dijo la resonancia? Oh.
No sé qué significa, pero
Por favor, el que tiene el micrófono abierto, mutéelo.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Hey, Daniel. Welcome, dude.
Yo, you can hear me, see me, everything? Yeah.
Everything's good.
Nice. Guitar is on. You can hear it too. Probably messy with the. Anyway, how's it going, everyone? The song you just heard was K4Y from my recent album, Dive. And it was composed together with my friend Yaniv Taubenhaus, the piano player. And maybe I can tell you a little bit about how we came up with this song. And then, we can open this up to interaction, like anyone can ask anything. I'll read the chat, or we'll see how we go about this. Oh, thanks. Oh, someone asked a question already. So it's good. I think what we'll do is that I'll try to keep up with the chat, because I really want to be able to kind of talk to you guys and not only talk to the camera. Yeah, okay. Oh, questions about Guitar Idol. Okay, I'll talk about this song, then about the Guitar Idol one. And so K4Y was just a exploration of notes. And I don't know, let me know if the guitar, if you can hear it well, but basically just started off with some fourths. And I just kind of wanted to see how I can add some chromatics to that sound. Which is something that I really like to do, just to kind of like, take any phrase that me or you come up with and see how I can modulate it. In this case, it's in a major third. And then after I played with that phrase, I was like, I want to have a tune that will start with that phrase. I just thought it's cool. It's like right on, very brighty, spacey sound with fourths, and I really like that sound. As modern jazz, kind of like I admire the sound of modern jazz, and I basically recorded it to my friend on WhatsApp, Yaniv, the piano. And then I recorded him a voice message, and I was like, I want this to kind of go, just and then maybe have some kicks, bam, bam, and some spacey vibes going on there. And it's something that I find that I do a lot. Like I play a beginning on the guitar, but then I have the rest of the song kind of like floating in my mind. So what I do, I record a voice message, and I just sing the whole thing. Basically, I can just, we all have already stuff in our imagination that are there that we can access. And the guitar, if you think about it, guitar is like a physical manifestation of our imagination. And translations. Okay, so let me know.
Maybe you should let Pablo translate.
Okay.
I have a little bit of information in my head now, if you feel like.
Okay, so to be continued, Pablo, take the stage, bro.
Ok, Daniel va a continuar luego. Primero que todo, comenzó saludándolo a todos, señalando que la canción que acaban de escuchar es K4Y, K4Y, de su álbum Dive, que fue escrita a medias en colaboración con su amigo que era el pianista. Y quería comenzar explicando un poco de cómo grabó esta canción. Daniel dijo también que se va a dedicar a leer mucho el chat, porque más que estar conversando con la cámara, quiere tener interacción directa con ustedes, así que pueden aprovechar ese espacio, chicos. Y aquellos chicos que saben inglés o niñas que saben inglés lo pueden preguntar directamente. Si no, me pueden enviar un mensaje a mí y yo lo traduzco. La idea es que haya la mayor cantidad de interacción, según dijo Daniel. Luego dijo que K4Y fue una exploración de notas y comenzó a jugar con cuartas y quería ver cómo poder agregar cromatismos a esos sonidos, que es algo que le gusta hacer para poder tomar cualquier frase que él o ustedes puedan crear y ver cómo pueden modularla. En este caso está grabado y escrita en mayores para luego tocar esa frase. Él siempre piensa en alguna frase que se le queda dando vueltas y piensa cómo iniciar una canción con esa frase. Personalmente señala que le gusta mucho el sonido del jazz moderno, es un sonido que él admira mucho, y básicamente le grabó la idea, como la maqueta, a su amigo vía WhatsApp y luego le envió un mensaje de voz. Y ahí le decía, oye compadre, quiero que la canción tenga bla, 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 con los cromatismos y los espacios. Y en su cabeza él tenía el resto de la canción flotando. Entonces grabó este mensaje de voz, le mandó el mensaje, y fue la forma de agarrar la guitarra como una manifestación física de lo que él tenía en su cabeza, porque reconoce que todos tenemos en nuestra cabeza un poder gigante de imaginación con mucho material, pero el llevarlo a la guitarra es la manifestación física de estos pensamientos, de esta imaginación. So basically, that was it.
Dude, you're amazing.
Thank you.
You're a virtuoso. Really.
I wish I was with the guitar.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. So as I was saying, it's something that I kind of discovered through trial and error, because at the beginning I tried to really approach, and sometimes I do, but approach composition in like, okay, let's take and write every note, and let me touch the guitar and then touch the pencil with the paper and back and forth. And then I came to the conclusion that if I want it to be very pure and even faster, in a sense, the singing into voice message, just recording, is good for me. It's better for me because as long as I can tap into my imagination, all I need to do is sing into the WhatsApp or into a voice message, and then reverse engineer my imagination into fruition. So that can be, yeah. Let's translate now.
Bueno, como les decía, es algo que descubrí porque al comienzo él tenía un enfoque a la escritura, a la composición, que iba del lápiz a la guitarra, al papel, entonces este proceso se hacía poco orgánico. De esta forma él llegó a la conclusión de que si quiere que su mensaje y su sonido sea más puro, él debe estar en conexión directa con su imaginación, con su creación. Es por eso que él comenzó a grabar estas notitas de voz que canta para poder fluir y conectar más rápido con su imaginación. De esta forma él escribe más rápido también.
Thank you. Some people are trying to enter, so put it on admit that they can enter.
Mati, hay algunas personas que están entrando para que las dejes entrar.
Yeah. Okay, so what we do after we have the voice message is we kind of get the impression of excitement of it, and then we start kind of looking for the contour of the melody, because sometimes I'm not a vocalist, so I can sing stuff like that was an improvisation, which could potentially become a part of a tune, right? And then there's a contour, so I can go like maybe something like that, right? And then you can think, okay, well, that's like maybe a melody, and the energy of it is very like exciting, right? Like kind of like a superhero in jazz or something. And then you need to kind of make decisions. Now, the decisions can be like starting with the basic, like what is the harmony gonna do? Well, how do you hear the chords? Do you hear bright chords, like, you know, major 9 chords? This kind of bright chords, or do you hear darker chords, like altered? Or do you hear a combination of like bright and dark, right? So that's like kind of like the decision making part, which it's, you know, you can never find the perfect choice. It's like you just gotta make a decision, and like yeah, sometimes you change some chords and stuff. Oh, I forgot the translations. Shit. Need to get used to this. Let's do the
Yeah.
translation stuff.
Ok,
Good luck.
entonces lo que hacemos después de tener estos mensajes de voz, tenemos este sentido de emoción, para luego buscar el contorno de la melodía, el contexto. Y como se pudieron dar cuenta, Daniel no es un cantante, pero puede improvisar cosas como, do you want me, for me to sing? Could you please repeat the singing part you did?
Ba ba do do ba ba do ga ke ga do da te ga do do chike ke chike ba.
Entonces, eso lo puede tomar en un contexto. Thank you kindly. Entonces, eso lo puede tomar en un contexto como de improvisación, pero a eso le va a faltar el contorno, el contexto. Y quizás algo como eso que fue llevado a la guitarra. Eso les da una sensación de una melodía potente, una percepción de emoción, algo como de superhéroe, que fue lo que dijo. Entonces, ahora nos enfrentamos al proceso de tomar decisiones. ¿Qué decisiones tomamos? ¿Cómo escuchan los acordes? ¿Son acordes brillantes como el Mac 9? Tal vez son acordes un poco más oscuros como los alterados, o quizás una combinación de los mismos. Es en esa parte en la cual ustedes deben, chicos, tomar decisiones. Quizás no van a encontrar la opción perfecta, pero es por eso que el factor de la toma de decisiones es tan preponderante. Ustedes van a ir guiando el camino de su canción.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's how we wrote basically almost every song in the album. And K4Y, I didn't really know what it's gonna be, and that's what I like about composition, is that as long as the process feels like something you could describe as flow, instead of describing it as, well, I have this A part, but the B part is just not it, and I'm trying to find, these compositions usually don't work out for me, because you know, if I'm looking for something, maybe it's not supposed to be there. Yeah, let's translate that.
Bueno, así es como escribieron básicamente todas las canciones del álbum, pero en K4Y, en su canción que nos mostró al comienzo, no sabía lo que iba a ser la canción. Eso es algo que le emociona, algo que le gusta. Mientras el proceso sea orgánico, mientras sea fluido, en esta vez él se refiere a que, mira, no es como que tengo esta parte de la canción, o tengo este espacio, este compás. Para él no funciona esto. Para él el proceso de la música tiene que ser orgánico. Y si estás buscando algo, quizás es algo que no debería estar ahí. Daniel, there's a question. I don't know if you would like to answer.
I would love to. I would love to answer.
So, Ignacio Gonzalez says, hey Daniel, can I ask you something related to your composition process? ¿Puedo preguntarte
Please.
algo respecto de tu proceso de composición?
Please, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
hello, Daniel. How are you? Hello, Ignacio.
Hi.
Thank you.
Can I see him?
I'm just in an icon. Sorry, I have a little bit of problems with
Oh,
my.
it's okay.
The
Nice to
mic
meet you.
is working pretty well.
Hi. Hi, nice to meet you.
You talk about like the writing process of a song, and like the approach that you told like before is something more similar to a speech. Do you feel like when you're composing your guitar parts, or with another composer, you are like taking those aspects like speech for your guitar composition?
Yes. It feels like a language that is very personal, at the same time very influenced, and striving to be non-apologetic, like not to apologize for what I have in my mind, and then being open enough to share it, whatever it is, if it's good or bad or beautiful or ugly, just being able to be open enough to say, okay, that's what I have here. Let's commit to it and adopt it, and then release it and move to the next thing.
Oh yeah, maybe I feel like when you're composing, or for a personal perspective, I feel that sometimes yeah, you have to revise like and again if it's everything is all right. But it really feels more organic when you're trying to like put an idea in a musical context. But at first, a sort of like you were talking with the guitar, or like what you're like what you do like before, like doing some singing, like some scat for starting to composing something, and then like you start developing your musical part. I mean, I haven't thought about that because I like rely too much on theory, but it seems like a very good approach.
You can use the theory. By the way, do we need to translate for a second? Yeah, go for it.
It's your decision. If Ignacio, you would like to summarize the answer and the question,
Oh,
because I have everything written. It's your decision.
Oh, good. So I'll just answer again. I agree with you. It is, if you rely on theory, you can. Okay, so I'll explain, because I think this is gonna make big sense for you. Theory is like having your toolkit, and you have the hammer and the screwdriver and all that stuff, and you know how to use them, right? Or even paintbrush, any tool that you like to refer to. I like the paintbrush more, the analogy of the painter. And he knows how to use and how to mix the colors. And if you know, but first of all, he might look at this empty canvas and like stare at it and just see the end result, right? Maybe if he can do that, if he practiced it enough. So he just looked at it, and then he said, good, let's go to the tools now. Theory, harmony, chords, come help me. Voice leading, come help me. Reharmonization technique, come help me, because I can see what I want to paint. And you can do that without theory, but it's usually, it takes a lot longer. You know, you don't need to know all the theory in the world to do that. That's
Okay.
it.
Interesting. Thank you, Daniel, for your answer.
Yeah, good luck with your compositions and everything
Thank you.
in life. Okay, let's translate.
Ok. Ignacio, entonces a lo que hacía referencia era que siente que cuando compones, toma los procesos o los aspectos de un discurso al proceso de composición. A lo que Daniel responde que sí, que es un lenguaje muy personal, pero a su vez muy influenciado. Pero no es un proceso que busca pedir disculpas por eso. Él toma lo que es, lo acepta, y en base a eso abre la mente para comprometerse, adoptar y luego ir con la siguiente canción. Luego hubo una contrapregunta por parte de Ignacio y dice que siente que cuando compone algunas veces debes revisar todo una y otra vez, ir entre la canción y la teoría, pero en otras ocasiones se siente más orgánico de forma solo sentarse y conversar con la guitarra para desarrollar la canción. A lo que Daniel estuvo de acuerdo y dice que si depende mucho en la teoría, y ahí hizo una analogía para explicarlo. Dice, la teoría es como tener una caja de herramientas. Todos sabemos que puede, no sé, haber un martillo, un desatornillador, una brocha, pero a él le gusta mucho la analogía del pintor, en la cual el pintor se puede sentar y ver un lienzo en blanco, y el pintor en su cabeza sabe el resultado final, lo que busca de su obra o de su pintura. Entonces, una vez que él tiene la idea en la cabeza, dice, ya, perfecto, necesito estos colores, estos otros colores y tal brocha, tal pincel. En ese sentido, ustedes pueden extrapolar esa analogía de la pintura a la música, que también son formas de arte. Y puede decir, ya, perfecto, ya que sé que voy a escribir, voy a ir a tal teoría, a tal escala, esto es lo que necesito para la canción. Entonces, no es necesario que conozcas todo respecto de la teoría, pero si lo conoces, este proceso se va a hacer un poco más orgánico, que es como el concepto clave que estoy percibiendo acá, más fluido. Ese fue el diálogo entre Ignacio y Daniel. That was a little bit the summary of the dialogue between Daniel and Ignacio.
That was
My pleasure,
really
man.
Good.
My pleasure.
Thank you for your question. Good question. So I made like a list of what I want to talk about, just like off the top of my head. And composition, we just kind of talked about it, but maybe people want to ask another thing before we move on to another subject about composition. It can be something even that you can share of how you're trying to work on your music and you feel stuck sometimes on a certain thing. Been there.
Maybe I can tell them to ask you in Spanish.
Yes.
Maybe some of them could be afraid or shy. Estimados, jóvenes todos, en esta, Daniel dijo que hizo un pequeño listado de temas que le gustaría revisar y ya habló del aspecto de la composición y siente que si tienen alguna pregunta al respecto, este es el momento para hacerla. La idea es que, ya veo que Víctor Quesada ahí quiere preguntar algo, la idea, chicos, es que esto sea lo más fluido posible. Entonces, si tienen preguntas en inglés, la pueden hacer directamente como la hizo Ignacio, la pueden preguntar en el chat, o la pueden preguntar en español y yo la traduzco. La idea es que saquen el mayor provecho de esta oportunidad. So, Víctor, you know English, man. You can go for it.
Thanks, Ignacio. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Thanks.
I can hear myself again also.
I'm sorry. I guess that should be okay.
Yeah.
Can you share your approach to using this fourths vocabulary in the guitar?
Sure.
Thanks.
I just want to know, Victor, tell me if you hear
Yes.
the guitar clear, because we had... Oh, I still hear myself from you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because we had this thing that when this mic is open, it kind of messes with the other mic. But let me know if it sounds clean. Okay.
Clean.
Good. So fourths is something that on a guitar you can play just by placing your hand on one fret. Then later on, moving a little bit. So, you know, if you just want to play perfect fourths, it's 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, which is D, G, C, F, B flat, E flat. Now, that's really cool. I enjoy playing those sounds, even if I'm like in a minor chord or a pentatonic. This kind of sound. But I also enjoy playing it on one string, which is something that just kind of like recently I really started digging. Let me, yeah. So let me send some more guitar for me, just a sec. Hear me? Okay, just a second. Okay, you should hear the guitar and me at the same time now.
Everything's good.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds fine.
So which is this sound, and let's say you're like in A minor pentatonic. You can see just that you have this fourth here, A and D, also here, right? And this fourth, D and G, also here, which sounds different than plucking it. And that's what kind of gives you this sound, which for me associates with the flute, kind of sounding like a, you know,
Sounds
that kind
like
of sound.
more open.
More open, yeah, and there's less attack to it. And when I want to explore how to use it in a scale, I look for the diatonic fourths. So it can be just if you play, say, C major, right? So you have the C major scale. And I just look for the fourths, even before going like 2 strings.
But
And-
skipping the tritone, right?
No, I actually like the tritone.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, you can skip it. Or, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's just to get kind of like the awareness going on, even if you play the tritone and stuff. And then you can kind of notice how it looks on two strings in that area. So in C major, you have this. Here's the tritone. This sound. And then what I try to do, I try to move it in other scales or in a tune. Okay. Someone wrote something about an echo, but I don't understand in the chat. So let's say, you're taking some other scale, like altered, if you guys are into it. So altered scale is the best scale to play in fourths. And I'm going to demonstrate it using harmony, not melody. So this is the altered scale, which is basically B flat melodic. A altered is B flat melodic minor. For those of you who don't know about the scale, don't worry. It's exactly like a major scale. You just lower the third. So a melodic minor scale, and that's something I also wanted to talk about, is coming up soon because we need to translate. Ignacio, go for it.
Ok, bueno, Víctor le preguntaba básicamente si nos podría hablar un poco respecto de su enfoque para escribir escribiendo cuartas. Y dice que es algo que se le da fácil respecto del movimiento de los frets, porque al comienzo se movió solamente entre los espacios 10 y 11. Y esto tocando incluso en acordes menores o pentatónicos, como el sonido que iba tocando. Tiró varios ejemplos entre medio, así que si pueden ir recordando lo que iba tocando, por ahí estaba el tema. Es un sonido que de un tiempo a esta fecha le gustó mucho, pero que comenzó a disfrutar hace poco el tocarlo en solo una cuerda en vez de viajar por el neck de forma ascendente y descendente, digo, desde cuerdas de la sexta a la primera. Y luego dio un ejemplo en el que estuviese el la pentatónico menor, y cuando hacía la cuarta, la buscaba también en la cuerda superior. Recuerden todo el rato el movimiento que ha hecho Dean en el mástil. Es un sonido que le da el sonido más de flauta, un poco más abierto, que da un sonido con menos ataque, que a él le gusta, y cuando quiere explorar busca cómo usarla dentro de la escala. Busca las cuartas diatónicas, por ejemplo en la de Do mayor, busca las cuartas incluso antes de ir a las cuerdas, pero sin saltar el tritono, que era algo que comentaba ahí con Víctor. Víctor le preguntaba si era necesario saltar el tritono y dijo que era decisión básicamente de la persona y que es algo que se va a proyectar posteriormente a dos cuerdas. Y luego ahora está hablando del ejemplo de la escala alterada, que es algo que se le facilita más para tocar en cuartas y que lo va a demostrar tocando armonía, no melodía. Para aquellos que no saben la diferencia entre la alterada de esa escala, digamos, es muy similar a la mayor, pero con una leve diferencia. Ahí va.
Okay. So as I was saying, so the scale that I want to show you how to think about in fourths is the melodic minor scale. If you're in B flat melodic minor, you're basically just playing the same notes, just some background if people don't know. You're playing the same notes of B flat major, but every time you see the third, you make sure it's down a half step. So you have now when you start playing it from A, you can play it over a dominant chord, which could be a 7 chord with a flat 13. Now, the way I approach discovering the harmony of this scale, one of the ways, is in fourths. So let's say I take A and I count 4 notes from the scale. I get into this C sharp, which is not a fourth, but it's 4 notes away. So I consider it a diatonic fourth. Then I have another 4 notes from here, and I'm in G. Another 4 notes from G, and I have this chord altogether. Okay, so I found one chord out of 7. Since I have 7 notes in the scale, I can have 7 chords with this structure, right? So what I would do, I would take a paper, right, and write the notes. So I have A, C sharp, G, and C. If I try to, yeah, D flat, not C sharp. So if I try to organize A, D flat, G, and C in a linear pattern, I get A, then C, right? Then D flat, and then G. That linear structure is going to be my arpeggio. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for that arpeggio nested inside this position. So it's going to be, well, the most available note I have here is D flat, then C, A, G. And it keeps going inside the position. And let me show you where you can take this, but first, translation time.
Bueno, la escala que les quería mostrar era la menor melódica, y partiendo del ejemplo del B flat, tocan las mismas notas del B flat major, pero cuando ves la tercera nota, la bajan medio tono. Entonces, cuando comienzas a tocarla, puedes tocarla puedes tocarla con un acorde dominante. Ahora buscas como la armonía de la escala en cuartas. Entonces vas con la y cuentas 4 notas de la escala y caes en C sharp. Luego la considera como cuarta diatónica. Luego avanza a G y tiene el acorde que tocó. Entonces encontró un acorde de 7. Y ya que tiene 7 acordes dentro de la escala, lo que hace es tomar un papel y un lápiz y anotar las notas del acorde. Si trata de organizar ese patrón de una forma lineal, tiene lo que va a tocar a modo de arpegio, y luego busca ese arpegio anidado dentro de la posición que tocó. Y ahí tiene el B flat, el C, A y G, que están dentro de la posición. Y hasta ahí llegó por el momento.
Awesome. So what I will do next is I will take this same, by the way, long answer. You asked, you know, talking about fourths. So, Victor, are you still there, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you get what I'm saying so far?
Yes, I'm playing it while you say it.
Amazing, man. So here, where's go next? Like, so, okay. So as I said, we have 7 notes in that scale, and we want to have 7 chords, right? So, okay, we started on A. Another note in that scale is G. You can hear some echo. So now what we're gonna do is build the fourths from G. So here's G. The next note in the scale that is possible 4 notes away is C, F, and B flat. So now we have 2 chords that are diatonic. They belong to that scale. You can hear it with A in the bass. Now I'm going to do the same process for my new chord. I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper. G, C, F, and B flat. Organize it so it's linearly structured. There's no jumps. So let's say, yeah, we have G, then C. I'm sorry, G, then B flat. G, B flat, C, and F. So now in this position, I'm going to look for those notes in a linear structure. So here's C. If I want, I can start from here. C, B flat, F, right? C, B flat, G. Okay, C, B flat, G, F. That's what I have for this chord. So I just looked for it in the position. Now check it out. Now if I blend two sounds, first of all we have this chord. First chord, second chord, and at the end I kind of blended both of them. And that's how you get more control over the sound of fourths on any scale. And you can do that with any scale you learn. Okay, let's translate. Then I have some summarization of that.
Bueno, pide disculpas porque está haciendo una respuesta larga, pero ustedes hicieron la pregunta, así que es como que hay que bancársela. En ese sentido, dice que tiene 7 notas dentro de la escala y en base a eso quiere tener 7 acordes ahora. Entonces va a comenzar en La. Otra nota de la escala es G, se quejaba de que había un poco de eco, y luego lo que va a hacer es formar el G, C, F y B flat, que son las notas dentro del acorde. Ahora tenemos 2 acordes diatónicos que pertenecen a la escala y lo pueden escuchar incluso con el bajo en La. Ahora va a ser el mismo proceso para organizar un nuevo acorde, que es este proceso de escribir con lápiz y papel. Entonces volví a tener G, C, F y B flat para que esté organizado de forma lineal. Luego, dentro de ese patrón, lo busca de forma lineal y lo tocó para que ustedes lo pudiesen ver. Y lo puede tocar de las dos formas, donde hizo el acorde, la bajada por la escala y luego un nuevo acorde. Hizo el primer acorde, luego el segundo, y al final iba mezclando ambos. De esa forma es como él puede tener un mayor control de cuartas sobre cualquier escala.
And so of course we only did that with 2 chords, and it will take some a whole workshop to show you all the possibilities. And also I didn't even go into discovering how I can translate this to playing fourths on 1. So it's crazy. It's like a project. It's a whole project to discover. And the sound is so fun. And it's usually kind of, it's, for me at least, it's easy to get it into my muscle memory, because playing fourths on the guitar is fun, because it's usually like 1 fret or just this kind of sound. Yeah, if you want to take it as like a assignment or something, so just take any scale you know, build fourths, maybe 4 part, write the arpeggio down. Arpeggio is basically a linear representation of harmony. And just go for it. You know, try to compose a small piece. Etude. Okay, so etude is a piece you compose in order to learn something. Sometimes it becomes a piece that you play for audience, but usually it's just a piece that you compose to play, to learn. Yeah, that's this topic, Ignacio.
Thanks a lot, Daniel. It's a lot of info, but
yeah.
But thanks a lot.
Thank you. So you want to take that last?
Yeah, sure. So, entonces dice que por supuesto lo que acaba de explicar lo explicó con apenas 2 acordes. Para esto, para explicarlo bien y que les quede a todos claro, debería tener un workshop completo para explicarlo. Es algo un poco loco, pero es un proyecto completo y divertido por explicar. Y por lo demás a él le parece que es un sonido muy divertido y muy fácil de recordar por la memoria física. Si quieren pueden tomarlo como una tarea, tomen cualquier escala que ustedes conozcan, escriban las cuartas y escriban el arpegio, que recuerden que el arpegio es básicamente la representación lineal de la armonía. Entonces pueden escribir partes pequeñas, él lo llamaba un tour, que es una pequeña composición que ustedes tengan para estudiar. Finalmente pueden tocar eso para más gente, pero la finalidad de eso es algo que ustedes hacen para estudiar. Es mucha información, pero es algo que vale la pena. Y luego habían agradecimientos por ambas partes, de Víctor y de Daniel.
Okay. Any questions? I mean, I have more topics here.
Tiene más temas, pero si hay preguntas.
I can tell you a few topics, and let's see, maybe people in the chat can choose. Well, I can talk more about the mechanics of music, theory and how to see it on the guitar, that can take a whole course, which you can check out on my own website, by the way, weissguitar.com. I can talk
Maybe
about some.
maybe you should write your website on the chat from the group so that
Yeah.
people can go and have a look at it.
Sure. Can you pin? Oh,
it's
here
right
you
there.
go. Yeah, that's my website. You can contact me there for anything you want, lessons, or you can just get pre-made courses, and also just feel free to be in touch. I'm also on Instagram, so if you after this you want to ask me anything, feel free. I'd love to talk to you, or email me or anything. My Instagram is Daniel Weiss Guitar. It's on Instagram, of course. So some more subjects that I wrote that I can talk about is just what matters to me and what I try to avoid as a musician. And maybe I can talk about that a little bit. I hope it helps anyone. You want to translate this, Ignacio, so far?
Sí, bueno, Daniel hacía una invitación abierta a que vayan a su página de internet que ya está escrita ahí en el chat del dojo, yo lo puedo ver. Y hay muchos cursos que están prefabricados, hay un montón de tablaturas que pueden utilizar para aprender, y también pueden buscarlo en su Instagram, que es Daniel Weiss Guitar. A él le gusta mucho estar en contacto con la gente. Si tienen preguntas, por favor, háganlas llegar. Y otro tema que le gustaría tocar ahora es cosas que le gusta o que le son importantes como músico y cosas que él busca evitar también como músico. Así que si tienen más preguntas, chicos, aprovechen.
Okay, so what matters to me as a musician is to stay connected to creativity, and to be able to physically put it on the guitar. And another thing that is kind of, it's not new, but it gets louder as I age. I'm 34. Is to be able to accept what I'm not naturally gifted, I guess, at, and to use it to my advantage instead of to take it and make it something that holds me back. So, for example, I can tell you that, some music that I listen to grabs me, and some music that everyone said is what I need to listen to didn't grab me. And when I was a teenager, I was like, why can't I enjoy this type of music? And then I kind of released it, and I was like, well, my taste is just guidelines of what I'm supposed to go for. Because music is more like an abstract topic than, it's not like laws, or it's like it's art. You can do anything, and you can listen to Bjork and then listen to Holdsworth and get an authentic experience. And I think the authenticity thing is something that is kind of like what I'm trying to go after.
Bueno, de lo que va a hablar ahora es de situaciones o habilidades. Hay un micrófono abierto ahí, chicos, recuerden tenerlos muteados. En ese sentido, de habilidades que él no siente como un don natural, pero en vez de tener estas capacidades como un limitante, utilizarlos como cosas a su favor. Y luego comenzó a hablar de aspectos musicales, de por qué había música que le recomendaban, que no le gustaban, o que él decía, que le decían que no le podía gustar. Entonces él entendió que la música es un tema más bien abstracto, es arte. Entonces puedes disfrutar de distinta música y buscando siempre tener una experiencia auténtica. Por ahí él decía que podía ir desde Björk hasta Soilwork, escuchando distintos tipos de música, y no pasa nada con eso. O sea, al final es buscar una experiencia auténtica.
Some of the things that I do to kind of connect to non-judgment and non-form, and maybe form will emerge from that, but it's just to kind of improvise freely, and just see where it goes. And then after I play, don't judge it. Just be like, interesting. What was that? Like, well, okay. Don't try to overanalyze it. Just try to kind of accept it as something that you created in a certain moment, and you can play a ton of other things, and be grateful for that. And I like to do it without really using a backing track or something, just like kind of like seeing where it goes. Let me just mute my microphone for a second, that I can do it again. Cleaner. So I kind of went there into a pre-thought thing after improvising, and it just happened. So maybe my free improvisation became an intro to a song. Yeah, and I try to record like a free improvisation a day. It can be 1 minute, and then listen back and be like, maybe a little bit kind of like, okay, what did you play? Let's check it out, like that. And interesting, okay, let's develop that. Or okay, maybe I can do less of that next time, or more of that. Ignacio.
Bueno, alguna de las cosas que hace para no ir tocando con el tema de los juicios es improvisar de forma libre y posteriormente ver hacia dónde esta improvisación lo lleva. Después de tocar, trata de no juzgarlo, sino que pensar respecto de lo que hizo de forma, qué interesante lo que hice. No de sobrepensarlo, sino como algo que toqué en cierto momento y sentirse agradecido al respecto. Para hacerlo de forma más natural, ni siquiera trate de usar backing tracks, para no sentirse más influenciado por otros aspectos. Entonces lo que hace es simplemente, lo que hizo recién fue simplemente pasó, fue algo que tocó y listo. Entonces quizás lo que acaba de improvisar más adelante se convierta en el comienzo de alguna canción. Lo que sí, él trata de hacerlo de forma constante, periódica, tal vez de 1 minuto al día. Luego lo revisa, se sienta, lo analiza y dice, quizás podría tocar un poco menos de eso, o un poco más de eso otro, o qué bien lo que hice ahí. Posteriormente, al haber tocado, él lo analiza, pero no lo sobrepiensa. ¿Okay?
Any questions in the chat or something?
¿Preguntas, chicos?
Someone want to talk? It was nice to talk to Victor. Any other?
¿Alguna otra pregunta, chicos, respecto del tema?
Don't
Si
be
saben
shy.
inglés.
No sean
Jorge
vergonzosos.
Rojas puso quick question. Jorge, si confías en tu nivel de inglés, puedes hacerla de forma directa para hacerla más orgánica. There's a student who wants to ask a question.
Hello. Do you listen?
Hi.
Can you listen?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your name?
I'm Jorge.
Hi, Jorge.
Great talk, by the way. Thanks. I was wondering, when you improvise, do you always know the sound that is going to come out, or do you set yourself free to new sounds or notes that maybe you weren't expecting?
Interesting. Let me try and answer while I'll do it, so I give you an authentic answer.
I have to say, Jorge is actually a great guitar player.
Wow.
Thanks, man.
From Venezuela.
Thank you very much.
Nice. So send me some stuff. Okay. Okay, I have some trouble with opening two of them, but I'll do it with the sound from the mic, whatever. So, you know, I can take like a certain chord and just kind of maybe kind of use that same sound. Maybe just kind of like milk that sound, and maybe you see what I can do with one note. And then maybe I arrived to this chord, and then I can use arpeggio to play it, right? And then that interaction between maybe playing a few chords, then staying on one chord and kind of like improvising on that chord, and then going back to the journey of harmony, and then some melodic interaction. And another thing that you can, if you want to think about it, because obviously when we talk about it, it's not like the actual experience. It's like talking about dancing, right? But we can try. And you know, you can think about bright and dark colors. Like I said, the more diminished, altered sounds are more darker than the Lydian sounds, or so you can think about that too. It's probably like painting. Hope that helps.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Bueno, Jorge preguntaba por ahí, bueno, decía que era una gran charla y se preguntaba, cuando Daniel improvisa, ¿siempre sabe el sonido que va a salir o el que está tocando, o va como abierto y dispuesto a distintos sonidos, esperando, o salen notas que él no estaba esperando? A eso apuntaba más o menos tu pregunta, ¿cierto, Jorge?
Exactamente.
Exacto. Entonces, luego Daniel dijo que quería responder mientras lo hacía, por eso se puso a improvisar para dar una respuesta más real. Y él dice que puede tomar cierto acorde y quizás utilizar ese mismo sonido para ver qué es lo que va saliendo. Posteriormente puede tomar alguna nota para volver al mismo acorde, puede tomar algún arpegio para tocarlo, y luego de la interacción entre el arpegio y la nota, va viendo de qué forma se viaja por la armonía. Si queremos pensar al respecto, podemos verlo como algún tipo de danza entre los sonidos, o también llevarlo al plano de los sonidos más alegres y más oscuros. Mucho como pintar, vuelve mucho a la analogía de la pintura y la música. En esa palestra se mueve.
Nice. Do we have more? Do we have time for another topic or question, or are we done?
Chicos, si alguien más tiene alguna otra pregunta, Daniel tiene muy buena disposición. Si la quieren hacer en español, no tengo ningún problema en traducirla. Lo importante acá de la charla es que no se queden con dudas y que puedan aprender. Mati, ¿hay tiempo para otro tema? Acaba de decir Daniel.
Tenemos 15 minutos. We have
Okay.
15 minutes left.
15. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so yeah, let me see if Did you hear a backing track? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
African heritage. 1, 2, 3.
So I thought about maybe I can talk about improvisation a little bit.
Daniel, if you give me
Yeah.
just a second, Pat Quinteros has a question.
Yeah, please.
First of all, he says that he loved your analogies between music and painting. That's a huge plus on you. And then how did you do it to keep on continuously motivated? How do you motivate yourself to go through the path of music?
It's funny, I used to look for motivation, and then I found out that it's not motivation I'm looking for. It's I don't know, it's kind of like being religious or obsessed or in belief. You know, you just like you do it because it's who you are. You brush your teeth, you play a guitar, you shower, and I can't not play because it's even for me, you know, even if I didn't have a career as a musician or anything, but whenever I hear so many players every day, not only guitar, flute, I love flute, saxophone, trumpet players, vocalists, drummers, or even just a speech of someone that inspires me. Beauty is beauty and truth is we live in a world of smoke and mirrors, right? Like we can compare ourselves, but beauty and truth is always there. Like this webinar right here is you know, no one is doing this right now to get rich. You know, everyone is here because we believe in community and we like to connect to this truth of music. And for me, I don't need really the motivation anymore, as long as I have music and in some extent a community. It helps to be together. When I was in Berkeley, I was really motivated by competition, I must confess. Britney Spears. I don't know why I said that. Maybe we can, you can take it from here before I mention more pop stars randomly.
Do I need to include the Free Britney part?
Go for it, please.
Cool. The most important thing is Britney. Entonces, Daniel dice que lo más importante de todo lo que dijo fue Britney. Amor eterno.
Yeah, so the answer is Britney Spears. What inspires me?
Esa es la respuesta. ¿Cómo se motiva Britney Spears? Dice que es gracioso que él solía buscar mucha motivación, pero en el camino se dio cuenta que no era lo que buscaba. Él no buscaba motivarse, sino que esto es como ser religioso, ser creyente, estar obsesionado. Al final es aceptar lo que eres. Daniel se aceptó a sí mismo como músico, como guitarrista. Entonces él dice, oye, te levantas, te lavas los dientes, te duchas, tocas guitarra, es parte de ti. También le motivaba mucho el tema de escuchar tantos músicos que son tan buenos día a día, no solo guitarristas, mencionó bateristas, el tema de la flauta ha salido de forma muy recurrente, al igual que ahora Britney, no sé por qué salió Britney, pero le motiva mucho. Y dice también que vivimos en un mundo de humo y espejos, pero la belleza y la verdad es algo que siempre va a estar. Y menciona que todos los que estamos acá no estamos para hacernos millonarios, pero sí estamos para generar un sentido de comunidad en torno al amor por la música. Entonces, él reconoce que cuando estaba en Berkeley le motivó mucho la competencia. Y dijo Britney, no sé por qué. Entonces,
Yeah.
eso fue como, yeah, because you were telling me about Berkeley and you were motivated by competition, like you wanted to, I think, to be the best, but then when you, Britney, that's it.
Yeah,
I couldn't get it.
It was an epiphany.
Okay, Britney fue una epifanía, ese fue el tema.
Yeah, then I got it. Like all this religion thing and everything is bullshit when you have stuff like Britney Spears. Actually, she's awesome. I don't know. I don't know
Oops,
why
she
we're
did
talking
it
about
again.
it. Oops. Oops, she played that diminished lick again. uh, anyway, yeah, hope that helps. I don't know. I can talk about that more, but I would love to hear what you think as well, because everyone is different.
Yo
I
creo
think
que
that's
ahora, sorry, dude. Yo creo que ahora podríamos ya abrir un poco más el micrófono y dedicarnos solamente a hacer comentarios y preguntas en honor al tiempo porque nos quedan 10 minutos. Así que si, bueno, como les digo, tienen algo que quieran preguntar específicamente o hablar con él directamente, por favor háganlo.
Mati, there's a comment on the chat by Eric Duaz, or something. He says that he is sincerely amazed and he feels like he learned a lot and he wants to apply everything that you taught us today through writing to composition. And he's thankful to you, Danny, but for the things that you've done. Thank you. Thank you
wow,
kindly.
man. Thanks for this comment.
Yes, and Santi Bust says, sometimes do you feel limited to playing something because of your technique?
Yes, all the time. I didn't want to say it, but yes. Like alternate picking, crazy fast alternate picking is something that I used to when I was a kid. I tried, but I didn't gravitate towards the sound of the attack of the sorry about that. I just didn't really go deep. And if I try to lock in and maybe change a pick to a pointy pick, I can kind of go, but I don't feel like it's me. It feels weird. I'm kind of embarrassed for not because someone else needs to. Just I didn't feel like I wanted to sound like a flutist or something like that, horn player. And sometimes it's a limitation. But I came up with all kinds of like ways to phrase or play faster. This kind of like this kind of sound, which it wasn't that fast at all. And also another thing is that I think about rhythm a lot. So I can play something really simple and try to make it work instead of playing fast. Sometimes I see people play really fast, like really fast, and I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that. But then I'm okay with it. As I said, like before, you gotta kind of accept your limitations, try and work on them. If you really obsess on them, maybe you can hack it and go through that. But also, maybe there's a reason why you can't do something and you can do other things. Maybe it's your taste. Ignacio?
Bueno, dice que La pregunta fue primero si él siente que su técnica le genera limitaciones. A eso apunta la pregunta. Dice que sí, todo el tiempo, que no quería decirlo, pero sí, él se siente limitado. Y da el ejemplo del uñeteo del alternate taking, que tú puedes ir y tocarlo muy rápido, y cuando él era más joven, no gravitó mucho a ese sonido, era algo que no le llamaba simplemente. Y nuevamente menciona el tema de la flauta. Él gravitó más hacia el sonido de la flauta, y quería sonar así. La otra cosa también es que él piensa mucho en ritmo, y puede pensar en algo muy simple y hacerlo funcionar en vez de tocar rápido. Muchas veces también ha visto a gente que toca demasiado rápido y piensa, pucha, me gustaría tocar así. Pero él, como dijo anteriormente, acepta sus limitaciones. Pero él entiende también que si te obsesiona algo lo suficientemente, puedes ir y hacerlo, puedes alcanzarlo. Pero simplemente no es algo que a él le haya llamado ni haya querido hacer.
And that really, like, when I think about working on technique, I think about working on ideas. So this can be an idea that I enjoy. And then I can maybe try and do it on other strings, you know, maybe, or maybe an idea can be major chord. Which is 5, right? This kind of sound. And I can work on it, but I don't really isolate too much my technique. Maybe I should, but usually I try to kind of work on songs and ideas and that kind of stuff. I wanted to talk a little bit about improvisation, but I think it's a really deep subject. So I invite you to watch my YouTube video, how to improvise, I guess, and I think that's the topic. It's in my YouTube channel, and I did this video where I show how to milk an idea, how to really develop stuff, and I also did another video where I talk about how to approach improvisation in like shapes, like the way you shape your solo, and if it's a very small shape, it can be seconds. If it's a bigger shape, it can be fourths, and playing all the way up or all the way down. So if you want to learn more about improvisation, you should maybe watch that video. And I would like to end by being really grateful for this today. Really, it's amazing. I'd love to do this again. Invite you to check out my music on Spotify, on YouTube, and on my website, and stay in touch by you can feel free to write, or if you want some lessons, we can do that as well. And that's it. Thank you so much for all the crew, the amazing crew. Ignacio, good job. Yes, everyone, much love. And